Hey guys, it's your girl Adana the Booty with the T, and I'm here with the illustrious, incomparable chef, motivational speaker, Jumoke Jackson, Mr. Foodtastic himself.
Tis I.
It is you, and you were here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for not ignoring my DM slide. Your name has become synonymous with great food.
I would agree. I confidently agree.
You would confidently agree.
I would confidently agree.
So tell us how you got started, or tell me and everyone watching
Sure.
how you got started with the food industry. Was it your initial career choice, or what happened?
Not at all.
Okay.
So I have a finance background. I went to school for finance. Both of my parents were lawyers, and I think I was telling you pre-interview that I wasn't forced into typical job, or I wasn't pushed to be in a certain profession. I was pushed to do well at whatever I wanted to do, whatever I was passionate about. Very initially, I went into finance because I am the product of a single family home. So my mom was single, mom working hard, 3 kids, and I wanted to make a lot of money. So finance was it. That's what I saw. That's what I thought. This would make me the most amount of money. So let me do that. So I did that.
I like when people just get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
That's just
that was
dollars, money.
I read
The way we're looking shining on camera right now, this isn't an accident. It takes finances. But continue.
I read Think and Grow Rich as a kid. I read Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun. I was very immersed and very in tune with how am I going to make a lot of money. Okay. So I did that finance for a while, made a lot of money, but somewhere along the way, my mother, because I also consider myself a mama's boy, which I think has a bad stigma. You can be a mama's boy and it not be a bad thing. It really does not have to be. It's a bad thing when I think you have a bad when unfortunately the mother when the mother might want to rethink her approach to how she deals with her
lady
child.
friends, or
So never tell
any friends coming
how
in
to deal with their kids. But I think when you have a good mom in a good situation, being a mama's boy is actually an excellent thing.
Okay.
So I'm very much a proud mama's boy.
Shout out to all the mama's boys. Cheers to mama's boys.
Cheers to all the mamas. I've never cheers with you before, but let's do it. So she said to me, she said, you do not look happy. And so I said, I'm not.
Whoa.
And so that was it for finance. I took a year off, a little sabbatical, trying to figure out what it was I was really passionate about, what I loved when I was in school. And just so that I clarify, I did drop out of college. I did not graduate.
You didn't, and you still entered into finance.
Yeah. That's a whole nother interview.
That's a whole nother interview, and I'm glad that he's also agreed to come back.
That's a whole other interview.
We're going to call that the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, that's a fun interview. Yeah, that's a fun interview. I feel like I've lived a few lives, and that's one of the lives that I lived.
Wow, as I forgot what the guy that Will Smith played. He was you did the whole pursuit of happiness, walking. I was talking to my friend the other day. I was like, what happened when you could just walk into a building and fill out a job application and they would call you back? Now that it's all
well, it wasn't. Yeah, well, it wasn't it wasn't like that, but it was definitely a life in itself. My whole finance career was a definite life in itself.
And while you were in that, you would have never thought about what is happening currently
at all.
Okay, so after mom said you don't look happy, because if your mom said she knows what you look like when you're happy, even when you didn't know what happiness was.
Even when I wasn't aware of it.
Exactly. So
conscious of it. So
what did you do after that?
I just tried to connect with what I was passionate about, and I remembered working while I was in school. I remember working at Ben's Chili Bone. You see, I worked there for 3 years.
You're like an icon. There's a lot of gems and surprises that you dropped so far.
3 years.
You are not Nigerian. That was I know everyone watching, it's exactly. See the thing? Everyone watching now just got the shock of their life. Because they just know Jumoke Jackson, they're doing the mathematics. They're also thinking, okay, he's one of us. And no, you just infiltrated the Nigerian cartel.
Wow.
You're out there.
Infiltrated.
You slid right in.
I'm very straightforward in saying that I'm born and raised in D.C.
Born and raised in Washington, D.C.
My parents aren't Nigerian.
Worked at Ben's Chili Bowl. You are a son of the soil. 3 years? That's a long time. That's a long time in millennial. 3 years on a job is a long time.
Loved it.
In millennial.
Loved every minute of it.
Wow. So that was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
And
I don't think back that far. But
now they're at the airport. Ben's Chili Bowl's in the airport.
Everywhere. Ben Chili Bow's everywhere. They're in Costco. They're in the airport. They probably have, I think they're up to 4 stores.
Wow.
And then they have small outlets at the airport. They're at the games. They're there. And then they sell it out of Costco. So they sell online.
They sell it out of Shout out to Ben Chili Bowl. Shout out to you. I love it. I love
to
seeing
the Ali family. Mrs. Ali, who just got recognized at Black Family Reunion out in
Did you go to that?
I did not.
You weren't invited? I wasn't invited. Were you invited?
I didn't get a personal invitation, but I was asked by a few people to go. It just was bad timing for me.
Dang, that's nice because no one asked me to go. No one asked me to go.
I really wanted to be there, but I'll be there next year, and it falls right on my birthday.
So is that the Black Family Reunion? Is that like the new Black Family Reunion, like the one they used to do on the mall?
Is it the new Black Family? The
Like
one on the
it's
mall? No, it's not the same type of thing. So this is very food centric.
Okay.
Completely food centric. So it's all.
The
It's
mall
about
had shops.
the
The mall
people.
definitely used to have food.
Yeah, it had food, but it wasn't just about.
It was like art, culture.
This is
and
about
everything.
food.
Period. Full stop.
Food specifically, and then, but you can dig into culture conversations off of it. But the driving force is food. So
Okay.
because it's sponsored by Food and Wine.
So is it going to be like their Napa Valley situation, but here? Because, you know, Salamander Resort is located in wine country itself as well. Like
Yeah,
the Virginia.
Yeah. So you know, Kwame's. I think he's an editor now at Food and Wine. So
Okay.
I'm sure he helped to spearhead that event, and I know it was super popular, and it got great feedback, reviews from everybody that attended, and they've already have the dates for next year.
So you were saying about your transformation, because now, like, food was your passion from working at Ben's Chili Bowl. And so what was your first step in the food industry? Like, what's the first thing you did once you realized, okay,
That's what I want to do.
yeah.
I got a job as a prep cook at the Park Hyatt right outside of Georgetown.
You went and became a you went deep into the trenches.
Like I am a very much like OJT, on the job training. Like
Wow.
I just jump into something. I could have said, well, let me go to culinary school. I'm very much just like get in, figure it out as you go.
Right.
So, and I like just like practical learning, like practical experience. So
I'm also the same way. I totally understand. And I've always been someone that's like really good with my hands. So anything you show me how to do with my hands, I'm going to be able to do it. Or if I see someone do something one time, I can do it.
exactly.
That's the crazy thing.
So that's what I did. I was cutting up vegetables, all types of stuff.
It's the carpal tunnel for me.
Park Hyatt was a great experience because at that time it was the only place that had a full kosher kitchen. So I learned kosher catering.
Dope.
Like Rabbi had to open it up type of kosher kitchen, like
Whoa.
100% kosher. So it had 2 kitchens. So learning large scale catering, learning under a very giving chef, which is not a normal thing to me. Chef McBride. So I learned a lot at that job. That was a great thrust into a bunch of other random food jobs.
So did you build up your chef career?
Yes.
Initially, and then what's like the highest position that you reached, like career wise, like not the social media, not your personal business aspirations, but you know, where did you get to before you now crossed into, okay, I'm doing this for myself, I'm a businessman, I'm doing like.
Right.
Where were you when you did that transition?
I was a sous chef, and then I went from sous chef to kind of a chef consultant, which I would stand in as the executive chef for a place because I was the chef consultant there, trying to help them either revamp a menu or revamp the staff or whatever they were doing. But as far as like a specific job, sous chef, that was Marcus Samuelson in Harlem. He had helped I was there shortly after Red Rooster opened, and then I went and was on the team that helped open up American Table, which was down at the Lincoln Center in New York. So I was a sous chef there. And then I did a whole bunch of restaurant consulting where I've been the executive chef for smaller spots, like
to help them open and then
either help
get
them
them
open
rhythm.
or revamp a menu.
Okay.
Or revamp the whole, whatever they were doing. They might have been revamping the whole concept. But
And then someone said, I need you to be on Shark Tank.
Shark Tank was much later. Shark Tank was much later. So I can give you the Everything Legendary story of how that came to be.
So the Shark Tank came out of Everything Legendary?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
So Shark Tank, I'll give you that story. So Shark Tank, Dwayne Cheers is an old friend of mine. Known Dwayne for probably a good 10 years plus. He came
Connections. Your network is your net worth. You hear me?
That's true. That's something that
and now I'm connected. Pow. You latched out. I'm quick. I'm real quick. So you were on Shark Tank through your connection.
Yeah, I'll give you the quick story of how Shark Tank came to be. So Dwayne came to me a little over 2 years ago, said he's not a chef, right? He said, I want to do a vegan fast casual place. I need you to create a vegan burger for me.
What?
I'm the chef, right? So I said, cool, Dwayne, no problem. I was pretty busy at the time. I was like, Dwayne, if you want to do this, please understand you're going to have to do all of the work of building this business up. I don't have time. I will make the burger for you, but I don't have time. He said, cool. He said, all I need is the burger and I can run with it. Mm-hmm. So I probably spent a good 3 months developing the burger. We did a tasting probably a little over 2 years ago now. From day one, it was well received. We started.
And this is the legendary burger.
Yes.
What made you named it the legendary burger?
No, that's Dwayne's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. One more time. We're not gonna get into that part. We're not gonna get into the naming part, but it was 100%.
Got some tea, Dwayne. Got some tea.
That was 100% his name.
Okay.
So we did pop-ups. We did pop-ups all over the place, down on H Street in Atlanta. We did pop-ups all over the place. And then Dwayne applied for Shark Tank probably a little over a year ago now. A little over a year ago. Went through the whole process, which is a very intense process.
Getting onto the show.
Getting onto the show is extremely difficult.
Wow.
It's extremely.
It has to be, right?
Not that it's extremely difficult, but it's just very involved. Extremely involved. It's like being accepted into.
He applied.
He applied
to
for
the
an
show.
hour and a half. Yeah.
Oh, so they take applications. They're not tapping people.
No. You can 100% apply.
Okay.
Right, but to get selected, get through the entire process, and be selected and get on the show, that is very much like getting accepted into like Harvard or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a process. Mm-hmm. So we went through that whole process, which probably took a good 3 months to get through.
Okay.
Interview after interview, and keep in mind this is as COVID is hitting, so that delays like the filming schedule a little bit. We eventually get on the show. We go to film Shark Tank. That was August of 2020. Then we have to sit on that. Then we filmed it because it didn't air until February 2021. So sit on that. The show hits. We do amazing numbers out the gate.
Amazing numbers.
From business standpoint, so we were online selling the burgers at that point.
And once the show orders started just
we did great online sales. The next day, we posted. They did a lot of stories about it. Like we did $250,000 in 24 hours. We were already in talks to get into grocery stores, so we went into Giant, Safeway, Acme. Then eventually got into Target, and it's just been explosive growth ever since.
Just being on Shark Tank. Forget if Shark Tank buys it.
Yeah, it definitely was a huge thrust for us. Now the talks to get into grocery stores had already started.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to be honest, I didn't see that episode.
I can feel it. I can feel it in your spirit.
Did y'all feel it?
I knew you had, but it's
dang, you were just rolling with it.
It's not like it's mandatory. I don't feel like everybody in the world should have seen it.
Any given point.
I don't have any issue with you not ever seeing it.
So what is Mr. Foodtastic about? You have like 12 IG pages.
Around 12.
Okay, now you have Mr. Foodtastic. You have Go Legendary.
That's not my page. That's the company's page.
It's on your Mr. Foodtastic.
I created the Everything Legendary Burger.
But it's not your personal page, okay?
No. I don't
Soulful Biscuit.
Yes.
And Make Vegan Sexy.
Yep. And? You're eating.
There's more?
You do all your research.
Uh-oh. Fire, flame. Getting flamed! It's okay, you're a fellow Washingtonian. I will accept the flame. Because let me tell you, it's only DC can
These people want the tea, right?
People want the tea.
Trying to give you guys all.
But in the DMV, we will flame you. We will fry you.
That was not a flame.
Because you're trying to be nice, because it's my platform, so you have to be nice. But what's a flame? For our people that are not from the DMV, what does it mean? What does it mean to flame someone?
It's like being very sarcastic.
Like German.
Yeah.
So you graduated from high school in DC.
Walls. Yeah. School without walls.
You went to the illustrious school without walls. That's a school that I heard about only in reading about it.
I think we have been given a day in DC. So shout out to DC. Shout out to DC. Mayor Bowser, who I now fully support because she came out with the School Without Walls Day. Thank you.
Before you didn't fully support?
Not fully.
Okay, but now she's got your full support.
Now you have my full support. You are invited to the bar.
Shout out to Mayor Bowser, because Mayor Bowser, let me just say, a lot of people withheld her full support. But every week she's collecting all the haters because she's like, "Boo! Oh, Black Lives Matter Plaza.
I was about to
That's
say,
our man."
she did two things that made me go, you can have that job as long as you want it. The plaza, and then giving School Without Walls a day.
True. She had my full support when I started coming out of Lounge downtown DC when she first got elected. I was like, she knows the vibes. I was like, hey, Miss Roxanne, she was like, oh yeah.
That wasn't enough.
It was one of those like coming up the stairs like underground. I don't know where it was, but it made me feel like she's in the mix.
Oh, you mean in DuPont Circle?
Was it in DuPont?
The underground in DuPont Circle? I only know.
No, I think it was like Gallery Place, Chinatown area. Which made it even more interesting. What were you doing down in your browsing? Anyway, it was years ago. What happens in DC stays in DC.
What were we?
We were talking about Soulful Biscuit and making vegan sexy.
All right.
And the one I missed, you said I missed one.
Oh, well, you missed a couple, but that's
they're not. No, wait. They're not all on your page.
Well, this one is. One of them is. One of them isn't anymore. But that's only because you only have so much space in that bio. So I just want people to know what's super relevant and what I'm very much tuned in on.
Okay, so making vegan sexy. And Soulful Biscuit is what?
Soulful Biscuit is a pop-up concept that I created probably 3.5 years ago. I was part of a contest that was held by Urban Space in New York, Urban Space and Citibank in New York. I was one of 3 finalists that had a pop-up right near Penn Station. So we were placed all over the city. I was by Penn Station. Another contestant was on Madison Avenue. Another one was downtown. I can't remember exactly where. But we competed for 40 days. We got to run this pop-up for 40 days.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was intense. For 40 days, my concept was called Soulful Sandwich at that time.
Okay.
Right, so I created a very soul-inspired menu. I had things on my menu, the hot butter soul, the Isaac Hayes reference, that's hot butter soul, maybe for the old school people.
Yeah.
The truth. I had one on there called.
Shout out to Isaac Hayes.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And your son is doing big things. Fanbase, you should check that out.
Fanbase?
I invested in Fanbase. It's a pretty dope new platform.
Okay.
Shout out to Isaac Hayes Jr.
Shout out to Isaac Hayes Jr.
Return my DM, sir.
Oh yes, the secret DM, like the one you were just being like tossed into the jump DM.
That was a flame.
That was.
Turn my damn DM.
Turn the message. Put it with the general pop.
I invested in your company. I'm on the platform, and I've yet to.
Flame, pow.
That's a
No,
flame.
no, it's okay. He's gonna message you this week. I already know.
So I have number of sandwiches. I did not win the contest, right? So the winner got to go into one of their food courts for a year rent free. No, not a year, 6 months rent free. I did not win.
6 months.
Although I do think, very quickly, I do think it was a political reason why I didn't win, because all the judges, with the exception of one judge, came to me at the end. We had this little end thing where they
talked to each of you after.
Every judge, and I lied to you, hand to God, on my grandparents' grave, came to me and said you won, and then I didn't. So it was I think it's very political.
They came to you before they announced the winner.
Yeah.
And said you won. And then when they announced the winner.
Well, they didn't announce the winner that night. It was later. But
still, you were expecting to hear your name or see your name.
To win. But I didn't.
Does that happen often in these competitions like that? Like, do you think it's something?
I don't know. I think it was a political reason why I didn't win.
Political?
Not political. Yeah, political in a very loose sense of the word political, like because of like appearance. In the food court that I would have gone into, there was another concept there that was very much in competition with what I would have been doing.
Okay.
So I don't think I could be in there. I think it would have just been too much of a
conflict. Yeah.
So I think that's why I ultimately didn't win. And the concept that did win, she was great. The concept that didn't was a very different concept than anything they had.
So
I think it worked for the space. She was fantastic. I just think that.
But we all know something really important, and that is delay is not denial.
But it was a great experience. I loved it. I made a lot of contacts. We got to run that concept. There was no charge for it, so it was a great profitable thing to do. And so now I run that as a pop-up, just randomly. And I did transform it from Soulful Sandwich to Soulful Biscuit because I felt
So now the sandwiches are on biscuits.
Yes.
You have a secret biscuit.
The Bishop of Biscuits. I'm now the Bishop.
Is that the page that I did find?
No, that's not a page. That's just a hashtag.
That's a hashtag Bishop, the Bishop of Biscuits.
Biscuits. I wrote
So your biscuits are divine, or do they minister to people?
Both.
Both.
But minister to people is well.
They minister. So when a person takes a bite of one of your biscuits,
it's not really a
soul cries.
describable thing.
Okay.
It's more of a personal experience. You know, your relationship with
the biscuit
is
personal.
It's a very personal
very personal.
relationship that has transformed. It has people shed tears. I mean, all of the above have happened with my biscuits.
Have they spoken tongues?
I personally haven't seen it, but I've heard stories.
You've heard stories.
I've heard stories about it.
Wow. Wow. That is divine.
So now I run it as a pop-up, and I'm getting ready to do some other things. Now, I segue all of that, and I'm about to tie everything up for you guys. I'm about to tie the whole thing up. And because this is, we have tea in our hands.
Tea in our hands.
Close
in our
proximity.
Yes.
I'm going to give you some tea that I have not given to anybody as of yet. And this just happened chance, so you really just lucked into this.
Ooh.
You lucked into this. So I have parted ways with Everything Legendary. I've sold my interest in the company, and I am on to new projects. The launching of the Test Kitchen in Atlanta, Georgia, will be happening at the end of this month.
Wait, you're launching a test kitchen?
Yes, Test Kitchen, where I'll be developing and recreating new food products that make the world a better place. A lot of them will be plant-centric, but there'll be others. So I learned how to... Food products for the public.
For the show? Like...
No, for the public. So this can be anything from vegan cheese to... if I wanted to make another burger, like whatever I want to make. And then... unfortunately, through the whole Everything Legendary process, I did make some amazing contacts, and there's absolutely a need for vegan products that speak to I think my type of creation, which is very flavorful food. I just think that is a void, and also healthy and flavorful is like always a thing people try to figure out.
Right.
I think I very much figured that out with that burger, and I'm very much going to go figure that out with a number of other things. So the Test Kitchen is going to be amazing. I'm very excited about that. I don't have an official date, but it will probably be I'm imagining it's going to be like the second week of October.
This year? Oh, that's like right around the corner.
Jumping right into it.
Okay.
Jumping right into it. I'm super excited about it.
Well, congratulations. So what?
There's your tea.
There's the tea. Cheers to that.
So I say all that to say, so now let me fold in some concepts for you that are going to go
Wait. The chef said he wants to fold in gently.
Gently fold in.
Fold
it's
in.
Like a little meringue that you got to just kind of be gentle with. Yes.
Yes.
So Soulful Biscuit, developing a mass scale biscuit mix that will be in stores. That's
just add water?
Almost like
a
just add cream. So this is I found a void in the biscuit category. That void is, have you ever seen a mix that has the butter already incorporated but still makes it semi-homemade for you because you then still have to add cream to it?
But you'll get like the flaky layers that the butter gives.
You'll get a perfect biscuit, period. But then also, have you also ever had a biscuit kit where you can create different types of biscuits?
I didn't even know you add cream to biscuits.
Yeah. So what's in the space now is either... I've
never added cream to my biscuits.
Cream. So this will be you'll be adding cream. You will not be adding water to these biscuits.
Just add cream.
Just add cream. So in the space now, there's dry mixes.
Okay.
Like a very dry mix that you get off of a shelf. There are refrigerated canned biscuits, of course.
That you pop and they
This
taste
is
horrible.
going to be a frozen mix that will be in the frozen section where you will dump it into a bowl. You will add cream. It may or may not have pieces with it to make it a different type of biscuit, but it's going to be a full line of biscuits that might have herbs and cheese in it. That might be a cheddar bay biscuit.
So
that might be a red velvet biscuit. It's going to be like frozen biscuit kits that you put together for yourself. So I
already see it in my Costco freezer.
I've never seen it, so I'm super excited about that.
That's exciting.
I would say spring of 2022. You should see it I can't even speak on the stores yet, but you should see it in the store by spring of 2022.
We're gonna keep an eye out for that. We're gonna bring you back.
Oh yeah.
And then
I'll put a whole
we're gonna have tea and biscuits. I'm sure those
tea and biscuits. What better combination?
What better combination than tea and biscuits?
You know everything goes with biscuits.
With some orange marmalade. yummy. Or some strawberry preserves, or some honey, or some honey poppy seed butter. Sorry, I go down the rabbit hole, guys. You gotta know me.
I like it.
Okay, cool.
I like it.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's take a break.
Yes.
And we'll be right back with more from our master chef. We haven't discussed the motivational speaker part yet.
We can't. We talk about that. We'll be right back.
Businessman, financier, angel investor, Jumoke Jackson. All right, we're back.
I'm still here.
Still here. Blink twice if you need to be rescued. So back with what do you like people to call you, Chef Jumoke? Like, what do people call you? Like, what's your nickname? Like,
I've got a million nicknames. Chef, Jumoke, Jay, Mook, Moke.
Mook.
I've got a lot of nicknames. I mean, over the
Mook?
years, you can like.
Hey, yo, Mook. Is that like how it usually comes out? Mookie!
Years
Yay!
in my life, if I know people based in people, somebody calls me a certain thing, it's because it was a certain time frame in my life where I was being called that a lot.
So Mook and Moke is when you were in the streets.
No.
That sounds like a corner
It's
screen.
It's never in the streets.
It sounds like you were pushing more than biscuits.
No, I was
No?
never in the streets.
Never in the streets.
No.
Okay, good.
Like, I grew up.
But Mook was
I
in the
grew up
streets.
by the streets.
By the street.
I was never in
Shout out to Northeast DC.
Shout out to Northeast.
Shout out to Bladensburg, Fort Lincoln, South Dakota. Hey! No?
Heck and Jamal.
Heck of Jamal.
Trinidad.
Trinidad. Pow, pow, pow. Step. No joking, no. Shout out to Brightwood. No one ever shouts out Uptown. Shout out to Brightwood. Shout out to Uptown, 16th Street, downtown Silver Spring. Shout outs. He's rolling his eyes because
Not rolling, I'm just.
Southeast and Northeast have no respect for Uptown people.
That's true.
Like myself, I grew up in the more
Proper.
prim and proper parts of Washington, D.C., Brightwood, Petworth, Shaw, and of course the incomparable Howard University.
Hey, you.
You know, did you go to Howard?
A little bit.
For a little bit, I went to Howard. Oh my gosh. We're just like so connected and yet disconnected. That must be why I went straight into like, they were like, look, someone you must know. Boom, DM. Presented. First one on the top. You, like your friend suggestions, I just been in there all this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have been your most significant professional accomplishments to date?
Everything Legendary was definitely a significant accomplishment because I never created a product that went full scale and became nationally available across the whole country. I mean, I've had things. I don't really feel like I have significant because I still am striving for so much more. So, I mean, I've been like Black Enterprise named me as one of the 100 Men of Distinction in 2018. So that was pretty good. I helped Nobu launch their first hotel. I mean, that was good.
You helped too?
Nobu.
Nobu. Where first hotel?
In Miami. They took over Eden Rock a few years ago.
So you were executive chef at Nobu?
I was one of the chef consultants there.
Wow.
I lived there for
That is amazing.
Yeah. This is like 4 years ago. Maybe 4 years ago.
That's dope. Because Nobu is like...
Nobu is very, have very high standards.
How is it working in those type of spaces where like...
Lovely.
We're talking like Michelin.
Either you learn or you die. It's like
Either
no option. Either learn if you're a part of it, or you're not a part of it.
Do you think that the culinary world is always a learning space? Like even when you are
you will never ever learn everything that there is about food. I always approach food with, and which is one of the reasons I love
like
it.
Exploration.
Like it's a learning process. You will never get me going. I don't need to there's nothing I can learn here.
Right.
I'm always a student of food.
Okay. What do you consider the most important qualities of being a chef?
To always be a student. Number one, treat your career like every day is like a day one.
Okay.
Like really immerse yourself in the space, and that kind of same thing as saying like always work on your craft. Like that's a chef, that's anybody, but particularly a chef. Always work on your craft and learn how to be a really good communicator because you communicate through your food. So whether that's just speaking about it well, describing it well, or presenting it well, learn how to communicate better. And then know that regardless of what type of chef you are, whether it's a private chef, restaurant chef, research chef, a private chef, caterer, whatever type of chef you are, there is a business side to it. And so people that are very artistic, like I think chefs are, they kind of lose sight of the fact that there is a business side to it. So learn the business side, or have an amazing partner that experience that for you. So one of those two. But those are to me the key points.
Okay. And what do you like and dislike about your profession?
What I dislike now is the labor.
The labor.
This is why I don't do catering anymore. Was why I stepped back, because as you get older, you definitely start to think, well, how can I work smarter? And so to me, the labor of it is what I dislike the most about it. I also do dislike chefs that don't continue to reach for more in their skill set. Yeah, they get very zoned into either just a certain level of ability, and then they just kind of stay there. So I think that they should. Keep pushing your craft. Pushing your craft.
Getting better and better.
Always try to improve it.
Always, and also diversify. I think people don't realize, unless you're in the food industry, how massive the food industry is. There's so many professions within the food industry, and there's always opportunities to do like lateral transfers and then like zip your career in so many different directions, but still build upon it from like what you've done so far. That's amazing. So actually now it's time for us to take a minute. I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay. And you're going to have a minute to answer them. Okay. Hopefully you finish all of them in a minute. If you don't, then
let's go.
It is what it is.
I like to win, so.
You like to win? Okay. The prize is...
Do I get to know the amount of questions there are? Just so I can kind of pace out how quickly I answer a question. Because I don't like to lose, so.
10.
10, gotcha.
Alright, that's all you need to know? Okay, what's the weirdest sequence of emojis you've ever gotten?
It was an arrow. I know it was an arrow. It was an arrow, an eggplant, a wet thing, and then smoke.
What is that? Okay. What is it?
Come on, next question.
What is this?
Weird ass contraption. Oh, it's a shaver. It's like a multi thing. So it's a container, and you can cut things in it. Oh, it's like a peeler thing. You can put something in it, and all it will spiral down.
It was a spiralizer.
Spiralizer.
Spiralizer. Are we in the revival of the cookbook?
Revival? No. Not that I know of. No.
What is your favorite snack?
Oreos.
Oreos?
Yeah, correct.
Choose one: small, medium, or schmedium.
Large.
Small.
The biggest one. Small.
So small, medium, or schmedium? Medium. You don't want anything that's schmedium?
No.
What are your top 3 country music artists?
Conway Twitty, Dolly Parton, and the old boy that's on The Voice.
Blake.
Shelton.
Shelton? Okay. What is the male equivalent to flowers?
The male equivalent to flowers, wing flats.
Wing flats? Yeah. Okay, wing flats, period. All flats, extra $1, extra $2?
Flats.
So show me it's real by paying extra $2 for all flats? Okay. Is Beyonce a rapper?
No.
What is the percentage of time it is okay to buy black?
100%.
What is your most transformative thoughts?
Reach for the stars, even if you fail. No, always shoot for the moon, because even if you fail, you still be above the stars.
Even if you fail, you still finish all the questions in a minute.
Even though I want to re-answer number 10, but...
You want to re-answer number 10?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what is your most transformative thoughts?
I don't know, I feel like I need to think about that.
We could save it for when you bring me some biscuits.
Okay.
And some apricot preserves.
I'll bring the biscuits.
I like the ones that have the white, the French one with the white and red crosshatch jar.
Oh, yeah.
Those are... People don't see. It can't not all the time Smothers. Sometimes you have to elevate and pay the extra $2 for the eye level jars. Like, don't always reach down to like Skippy and Jippy. But like, step it up, people. Pay $4 for the high end preserves.
Those little containers usually.
Don't Wait, so my mom found one this big at Costco.
Damn.
Costco, you're gonna be there next. Soulful Biscuit is coming to
On this way.
Costco. It's gonna be the big pack.
That's about
that you open it. It's
2023.
like 5 multi-pack.
At the most. 2023 by the latest.
Yes,
At the very latest.
because I don't know about you, but I want cream in my biscuits. Thank you so much for being on the show. Cheers! Chef Jumoke Johnson!